श्री श्री रास विहारिणी जी की जय। सब वैष्णवों को सादर सप्रेम सानंद सदैन्य जय श्री कृष्ण। श्री हरि राय जी की जय। शिक्षा पत्र Day 33, Letter 9, Verses 25 to 30. Verses 25 and 26. Without a doubt, the reward of this loving condition cannot be received unless you serve Shri Krishna according to the principles of this path and surrender to Sri Acharyaji's lotus feet. With this consideration, Sri Gosaiji, in his 8 verses in praise of Sri Vallabhashtakam, addresses Sri Acharyaji thus: You, my Lord, are the fire of love of Sri Swamiji and Sri Krishna. Surrender to him is not perfected merely through words, but by full faith in this path as revealed by him. Tika 25 and 26. In this way, if you surrender to Sri Acharyaji's lotus feet and serve the Lord, then you will be blessed with the experience of total absorption into love, focused purely on the Lord, which, without a doubt, is the reward of this path of grace. Sri Gosaiji has written in his Sri Vallabhashtakam, O my Lord, fire form of the beloveds, a single moment in your presence brings your blessing, whereby we may experience the divine longing that the gopis felt to see beloved Sri Krishna's lotus face. This is only appropriate, but what is surprising is that even after seeing the moon-like form of his lotus face, the craving of the heart for this experience becomes even stronger. So take shelter and have faith in this path of grace through which you may experience the Lord's divine pastimes. Such shelter and faith will now be described. Verse 27. Faith in the path should not be based upon one's own limited knowledge, but upon the nectarian teachings of your Guru, which are not intellectual fantasies, but based upon the principles of the path of grace. Tika 27. To nurture full faith in the path of grace, we need to be blessed by our Guru with knowledge of its principles, as revealed in Sri Acharyaji in his 16 treatises and its lineage commentators. Following closely the Guru's nectarian words, which come directly from these sources, we should contemplate their innermost meaning. Accomplished devotees can help us to understand their purport, and when we do, our faith becomes steady. Verse 28. Use the lineage commentaries and not your own interpretation. The explanation should not be according to one's own whim, but in accordance with the root of teaching, enriched with firm dedication to Sri Acharyaji. Tika 28. Do not interpret the Guru's teachings according to the imaginings of your intellect, but contemplate Sri Acharyaji's explanations in the Sri Subodhini Ji and the Nibandha. When Sri Acharyaji blesses you, you will begin to understand. Such blessings are received when you surrender to his lotus feet. Therefore, make them your refuge and study the inner meaning in Sri Subodhini Ji and Sri Nibandha. Then, with that in your heart, serve the Lord accordingly. Devotees should learn from their Guru to fully surrender to Sri Acharyaji, then always worship the constantly blissful Krishna. That's verse 29. Tika 29. When a devotee gains and acts according to the knowledge from their Guru, then doubtless surrender to Sri Acharyaji can be attained. Sri Acharyaji is constantly full of bliss, and knowing this, one should take shelter in him. Any bliss gained through worldly and scriptural activities is temporary. You may be very happy performing worldly sensual activities, but they will just lead to hellish degradation, and any merit accrued thereby may take you to heaven, but that is a temporary state of happiness, and you have to return to this realm when it runs out, resulting in grief. Sri Acharyaji's form is that of one-pointed bliss, as described by Sri Gosaiji in his Sarvottam treatise, etc. Sri Acharyaji embodies pure bliss and nothing else, so lovingly worship him as such. Souls engaged in Sri Acharyaji's path of grace surrender to Sri Acharyaji and his teachings. Serve the Lord accordingly, but what does it mean to worship with devotional love? Verse 30. By worshipping Sri Krishna's love-filled form with heartfelt devotion, you achieve that love. So Sri Acharyaji has taught in his Siddhant Muktabali, Pearl Necklace teachings, the ultimate service to the Lord is when your heart and consciousness are fully absorbed into him. Tika 30. Love for the Lord is the most important element of your service for him. Otherwise you will not achieve the fruit of such worship, which is to be totally mentally absorbed into his consciousness. Serve the Lord lovingly with your body and mind, and this reward of absorption of the mind and consciousness will be attained. Sri Acharyaji has stated in his Siddhant Muktavali, always perform Sri Krishna's pleasing service, the highest form of service of which is when it spontaneously fills the heart and mind. And then, in order to attain this state, devotees employ their bodies and their wealth. When your consciousness is one pointed towards the Lord, that is service to him. This state is achieved by service through your body and wealth. Just as a river flows continuously day and night, so when your heart and mind are exclusively focused on the Lord and flow towards him, that is mental service, divine consciousness. This condition can be reached when you always serve Sri Krishna with your body and wealth in a state of total love towards him. Thus has Sri Acharyaji described this degree of awareness. How would you be able to recognize if someone has reached this stage? And that we will discuss tomorrow in verse 31. Aaj ke Anand ki jai ho. We pause here. Jai Shri Radhe. Sab Vaishnavan ko Jai Shri Krishna. Shri Hari Rai Ji ki jai ho. Shri Shri Ras Bihani Niju. Vijayate.